Well, hello and welcome. Welcome to the Boboleros podcast. I am Margaret and this is episode 12. And welcome to this podcast. Here we mostly talk about knitting, inspiration from the world of the arts, music, poetry, literature, and any other drippings from the brain pan that may occur. So let's get started. First off, I want to welcome some new viewers, thanking you all for your comments, which I so love reading, and just also the new viewers who also have podcasts. I'm so grateful for this wonderful support from this community. So thank you to Leslie Friend, The Republic of Me, which is an amazing podcast by Ivana. And so I'll link some new podcasts to me and some wonderful podcasts that I've just been enjoying this week. They have just brought me so much joy with my knitting, and I've been knitting quite a lot these days. So I am excited to share that with you. And right off the bat, I just want to establish a theme for today's episode. I don't usually, but I just feel it that with the coming of spring and the spring, like March 21st is the first day of spring, and that's a significant thing in our year. And in some calendars, actually, it's the first day of the year, and it's a beautiful idea. It's such a theme of renewal. And on that topic, I want to share a book that so inspired me this week. And have you guys ever seen the Instagram of this lady, Jamie Beck? Oh, she has been on my Instagram for a long time, and I always have loved her photographs, but I didn't know her story. And she published this book, I guess a few months ago, and the photography in this book is just off the charts because her story is an amazing story. So I just thought we'd kick off because her story is a story that's probably not a story that's only unique to her, because look at these pictures. I mean, gosh, it's a story about when you're going through life and life is just kind of, the stress of it takes control of you, or you hit kind of like a wall of the same thing over and over, and you think, is this all there is to life? But look at these pictures. Anyway, it's the most exquisite book. But anyway, so the story goes, she was a fashion photographer, commercial photographer, living in New York, and really living an intense life, working a lot and the grind, and then having to go to these cocktail parties, she describes, downtown, where almost everybody is on their cell phone, and just feeling the oppression of that kind of lifestyle start to build up on her, and it started to zap away at her creativity. So anyway, she's on a plane, and the plane goes into this really bad turbulence. And that has happened to me one time when I was traveling back from Indiana, and I just thought the whole plane was going to go down. It was such bad turbulence. And so her thought was, if I survive this plane trip, I'm going to change my life. And I think we've all had moments like this where, it's, maybe it's not as dramatic like this, but it could be some kind of shock, because change usually happens by choice or by crisis. And sometimes crisis, I have to say, crises in my life had been such a big catalyst for change. So she decided at that moment, when she landed, she's like, I am changing my life. I'm getting out of this stressful lifestyle I have and recreating my life. And one thing she always wanted to do was to live in Provence for a year. She had visited, she had fallen in love with the terrain and the landscape. And so this whole book is pretty much her journey as an American and trying to even like just the paperwork necessary to live in France and get the visas and all that stuff, and then finally settling in and leaving behind a lot of the materialistic stuff, like even her camera lighting and all that stuff she had to leave behind and use only what the subjects that were in front of her. So she wasn't like photographing Chanel and Gucci anymore. She was photographing a flower or the cheeses from the local village cheesemonger on a Saturday morning when they would have the market outside. And she fell in love with the fact of just reconnecting. And so I thought today's episode, I just felt it on my heart that it's a time of renewal because of the season, right? So I just hope that today's broadcast will bring you a little bit of joy and a little bit of feeling of renewal and inspiration. I have quite a number of finished objects today to share with you. And yeah, it's pretty fun. I've been knitting up a lot and I'm surprised. I'm surprised at my productivity, to be honest. So thanking you all actually for this week. For those of you that jumped in, I had a shop update last week and it was the Earthy and Electric collection, and just thanking all those of you that jumped in on that and that wanted to just experience the Earthy and Electric collection and make your Sunday shrugs or whatever other projects with these yarn combos. And I sent out the orders, and just seeing all the yarn, as you guys know, I'm pretty new to yarn dyeing. I'm not new to art. I've been painting all my life, but yarn painting is quite a different thing. And I discovered a real joy and passion for doing it and creating color stories. And it's something that I didn't expect. And it was sort of like what JS Bach says in the book. She went to Provence with no expectation. It wasn't with an idea like, I'm going to go and photograph the landscape and become known for that. It was just, let me experience some new thing in my life and see where this road leads me. And I'm a kind of person that likes to have outcomes. At least that is the way I've kind of like thought in many ways. And I had to detoxify myself from thinking that way. And so even in terms of art and creativity, it's really not about the outcome so much as the process and having that open book, that open slate to just say, let me just try this because my curiosity is leading me down this path and see where it takes me. And so that has been the yarn painting journey for me. And it's been only 3 months, but it's been so much fun. And to see that it could bring joy to you as well. Oh my gosh, like the icing on the cake. So thank you so much for sharing and for us to be able to be creative in this way together. So let's start off with the giveaway, because last time I mentioned that we would do a giveaway talking about creativity. A wonderful book called The Creative Act. I always call it A Creative Way, but it's The Creative Act, A Way of Being, which is a new book written by Rick Rubin. And I have so been enjoying this book. Okay, just randomly, like there's just pearls of wisdom all over this book. So like, for instance, he says, while the emotional undercurrents of self-doubt can serve the art, they can also interfere with the creative process. Oh yeah. Beginning a work, completing a work, and sharing a work, these are key moments where many of us become stuck. Hello. Anybody who has not felt stuck because we start second guessing ourselves and doubting ourselves, like, raise your hand. I mean, that is such a thing that I personally resonate with, because it has been hard to like let go of those kind of self-defeating thoughts, right? So how do we move forward considering the stories we tell ourselves? one of the best strategies is to lower the stakes. And this is so cool. He says, we tend to think that what we're making is the most important thing in our lives and that it's going to define us for all eternity. Consider moving forward with the more accurate point of view that it's a small work, a beginning. The mission is to complete the project so you can move on to the next, okay? So that's the prompt for this week's giveaway, which let's first have the giveaway prize of this book. And also, it includes a skein of this awesome sequin yarn by Alyssa. Now, I think sequins in our projects is like just stepping it up. Who doesn't love a good sequin? I don't even know. And this is inspired by Peg Burke. Peg, love you. She had the most amazing Sophie scarf, like just tied around her bag. It looks so chic, and it was like silvery, and she also put some sequin yarn with that, and it looked fantastic. So I was all over the sequin yarn because I'm a copycat, and when I see someone like looking fabulous, I'm like, okay, I want to know where you got that. What did you use? Where can I get it? And I'm like, yeah. Anyway. So Peg, inspired by you, sequin yarn to zhuzh up any project and the creative act. Okay, so this is the giveaway prize. And so I'm going to draw a name from all of you wonderful folks who have left comments in the last two videos. And so I have, whoopsies, come back. Okay, I have everybody's name. And I am going to randomly choose, and the winner is Eileen Loomis. Yay, Eileen Loomis. Congratulations. Eileen, please get in touch with me. Best place is email, info@thegrandmanor.com, and I will put that below in the show notes as well. So congratulations, Eileen, and let us know how you like the sequin yarn and the creative act. Okay, so onwards to this week's giveaway. Okay, so we just talked about a beginning. Like Rick Rubin was saying, you know, sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves, even when we knit, right? Like I always think, oh my gosh, like I have to make the right yarn choice because this is going to be an epic project. It's going to take me X number of hours. And if I make the wrong decision about my colors, I'm going to be stuck and I'm going to waste all this, you know, effort and time and resource and stuff. And that is like not a good way to think, Margaret. It's not. And this is why I've been loving the Sunday shrugs, because they're so fast and you can experiment with color. And if you happen not to like your color combo, well then, you know, no problem. It's a really 4 to 5 hour project. Not a big deal. You can always change it. You can use the yarn for something else. It's not that big of a commitment, but it allows that play. And I like how Jackie puts it. It's like your sandbox. So yeah. So I would like to show you what we have as the giveaway prize this week. So for a long time, I have been a huge fan Tannei Casey's Project Bags. And so when I saw on Instagram that she was doing new project bags based on like these adorable fabrics, farm animal themes, I said, that is so cute. So she has impeccable workmanship. She hand sews everything. Like, look at these details. Like, even the zipper matches, and you get these like wonderful little leather beaded handles. And so inside it's just beautifully lined in canvas. This is Maya's. I got this for Maya because she's knitting new socks. And so I thought, this is so perfect. But then Tannei so generously said, Margaret, let me give a bag for your viewers for a giveaway. And so the bag came this week, and to my total amazement and surprise, Tannei did not just give one bag. She gave like 2 bags. Okay, they're right here. Hold on. Okay. Tannei, you are like unbelievable. All right, here we go. So look at this. look at what Tannei gave us. Oh, like, is this unbelievable? This butterfly, like, talk about spring. We're just talking about spring and this time of renewal and newness. And here's Tannei. This is a massive project bag. This is like a big sweater's worth, a shawl, a blanket. I mean, this is like, look at this. You can wear this anywhere. This is a major tote bag. This is serious and gorgeous leather work. Unbelievable. So this is one of the prizes for the giveaway this week. And Tannei also included a second prize. Tannei, you're going beyond, above and beyond. So look at this from the farm collection. This is the owl. I mean, isn't that so sweet? Again, beautiful, beautiful details. You have a little pocket in here for all your little notions and tape measure and all that stuff. So I'll be drawing 2 winners next week. And so to enter to win this awesome giveaway, please answer the following question. Again, it has to do with creativity. And how can you lower the stakes for yourself to be kinder, gentler to yourself? Is it taking a little extra time for yourself every day? I was talking with somebody this week and I was saying, yeah, you know, a knitter or someone who knows how to knit, but that they've been so busy with work. And I said, this, you know, she loved the Sunday shrug. She was saying, I'd love to knit one. I said, do it, you know, like so easy. You know how to do it. And she said, I have no time. And I said, what do you mean you have no time? It's like an hour a day. You'll be done in less than a week. I don't even have an hour a day, Margaret, she said to me. And I couldn't believe that. So, you know, where can we lower the stakes for ourselves to be kinder to ourselves? Is it like a question of time, devoting more time for the things that give you joy? Is it putting less pressure on yourself to be perfect? Like I did that this week for a number of things. And guess what? I learned the lesson like Margaret, hey, you know what? Like sometimes a lot of those thoughts are just for your own brand of crazy and they don't actually add to anything. It doesn't make your work better. It just makes your life harder. So I learned that lesson and that was good. So yeah, how can you lower the stakes for yourself to just be kinder, gentler, and have more room for joy and creativity in your life? Okay, so please leave your answer below and also follow the 2 other things to enter to win, which would be to subscribe to the newsletter on Boboleros, and that's boboleros.com. And really, I send out newsletters just updating people, you know, of things coming up and things like that. So it's not that you're going to get a lot of spam from me. And yeah, and then just joining the Instagram. My Instagram account is Margaret Wasik. Okay, so that's it for the giveaway stuff. So let's now turn to, I'd like to start with some music before we go into the knitting content. Okay, so I saw a painting this week and it's not a painting that's unknown to me. I've seen it already 2 years ago for the first time. When I saw this painting, it just ignited such an inspiration in me. And so I'm going to show it here. It is called The Pythagoreans Celebrate the Sunshine. And it's painted by a Russian painter named Bramnikov, and he lived from 1827 to 1902. And in this beautiful depiction, we can see many things. So the Pythagoreans, Pythagoras, you know, like I'm not math nerdy at all. And math is not a strong suit for me, never was. I needed remedial help in college. I almost didn't get into college because of my poor math. And anyway, but Pythagoras is a guy, I think, that was really on it. And for many reasons, just because he like sort of figured out the scale and based on ratios that he looked up in the sky, and he's like, wait a minute, you know, the planets move in these like rhythms of their own. They have their own music, they have their own ratios. And if we connect from earth to the harmony of heaven, now suddenly we have like this amazing bridge and our soul is purified. And like, yeah, so he was just on it. I think this guy was so cool. So in this painting, I just love the anticipation of the morning, the anticipation of the light coming through the sky, that beautiful, pure morning light. There's something about the first light of the day. There's an energy to that first light. And in this painting, there's a sense of that, drawing in, breathing in, celebrating the joy of that first light. And so you have 6 people there in the painting are actually playing musical instruments. And that was a big thing for the Pythagoreans because of, you know, the harmony of the universe and connecting to the harmony of heaven. Another aspect of this is welcoming the light. And for the Pythagoreans, they really did consider that the sun is a place where heaven is. And so it was just so inspiring. And I wanted to share that with you. And play something for you in a sunny key of C. This is C, the key of C. And I believe that there is a lot of sun in the key of C. Some people see color. There's a synesthesia. We talked about color last week, by the way. Oh my gosh. Thank you for your responses about the Moonlight Sonata, and the way you all wrote so poetically. It took my breath away. The colors that some of all of you that commented, I mean, I was so amazed by the depth, the poetry, and it just got me like thinking and experiencing the music in a different way and deeper. So many of you had these wonderful adjectives, like that you see or feel marble in those opening things. There was a lot of people heard the color purple, like a deep purple. One comment even said it was like the color of a wound, like a black and blue. And I thought, oh yeah, like the reds and the purples and the deep plums, and yeah, that kind of association. Anyway, that just blew me away. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time and for opening up that kind of connection, and for also appreciating. I'm so grateful that you all like wanted to take that jump with me and connect the visual with the musical. That was so amazing. So now I'd like to introduce C, the key of C, in the way that I see and hear the key of C. The key of C for me is a very healing key. Whenever I'm feeling low, like not depressed, but like just having a hard day and depleted, key of C is where I go. And usually it just like refuels me right away. And I share this because maybe some of you might also feel that. And if so, that would just be a joy, like to be able to share that with you. Now, I have my piano tuned in a special way so that this C is actually vibrating at 528 hertz, and that's major. There's a lot of significance to that. I'm not even going to go into it. I did a whole series about that on a different website, called Prayer Piano and Heaven's Melody. And this key is associated with, just wonderful, like do, re, mi. So this is do, re, this is mi, and mi actually stands for miracles in the Latin. So we're talking about like high power stuff going on here with the key of C when it's tuned in this manner. So in any case, but I digress. I don't want to go there because that could be like heavy duty. But if you're interested in that sort of thing, I'll leave the link below. So anyway, key of C. And it's interesting that JS Bach, who, like Pythagoras, saw that numbers, harmony is a big picture thing. And he saw the beauty in proportion. And he brought this to the highest level, I believe. So this is a well-known piece, his Prelude in C major. It begins the whole set of 24 preludes and fugues. So the same way that we as yarn enthusiasts, knitters, crocheters, we work with different shades of color, right? Then we have 12 shades in music. And so he takes us through all 12 major and minor shades, C major, C minor, C sharp major, C sharp minor, and etc., etc. So here it is in this sunny key of C major. And as a prompt, perhaps as you listen to this, I'll put also the painting up. And maybe it was this vibe that the people in the painting were responding to, that sunlight, that newness, that new energy, that glow, and that feeling of renewal. Okay, so now let's talk knitting. Okay, so I have 2 finished objects and a finished object from Maya's collection. So I am going to start with my 2 finished objects. So the first one is, yes, okay, I had to do it after seeing Jackie at the Vogue Knitting Live, and she was wearing some kind of shrug. It was some kind of shrug. It was some kind of Sunday shrug. And it was so exciting because it was popping. And so I was waiting for my kit to come, like I told you. I ordered the kit the next day from Lamb & Kid in the 3-Dog Night and the off-white colorway. Is it vintage? I don't remember exactly. But in the meantime, I think I knit 4 shrugs with my own hand dyed. I just couldn't wait. So yeah, so this was in the Earthy and Electric collection, Alien and Dark and Stormy. And so I did something weird here. I have to tell you, my initial idea was to have 3 stripes of the purple and 2 of the green. So I started off, I cast on, I did a regular cast on, and I did it this way, okay? And then I got here and I thought, I don't really want purple by my face, because that would have been the 3rd stripe. I want green by my face, but now I only have a 4 striped shrug, so what to do? So I did something kind of crazy, because I don't normally do this, but I picked up at my cast on edge, all right, and I picked up the green and I started knitting down. I guess that's done, although I have not done it very much. So in any case, that did the trick. I don't think you see it. Like, it's a little bit of an odder, like here, yeah, you see it here. It gets a little bit odd here. It's not that noticeable. But at least I got the green that I wanted near my face, near my face. So here we go. And I cannot get enough of these shrugs. I just cannot get enough. So this is just a fun one. I like to sometimes do the collar thing going down and wear it that way. It's very versatile. Like, the green really pops. And as you guys know, I am like green all the way. Like, give me green all day. All right. Not like, I'm not so keen on the like darker greens. Like, some of them, yes, but there's some greens that I like, they're not really my color. We talked about the Color Me Beautiful thing last week. I'm not going to go into that. It's not my swatch. But in any case, the alien green is just so much fun. So yeah, so that was just quick and super easy. And so it made me realize that if you start and you're not sure, like, which of the colors do you want to dominate with the 3 stripes? And let's say you decide as you're going, like, that you want to change your mind, you can always just create another stripe from the cast on edge, and nobody will ever know, and it'll be totally fine. So yeah, so there you go. That was a quick and easy one. Totally love that. And of course I had to cast on another one. So this is an interesting story. So I have friend named Kate. She's so adorable. And when I was doing a beginner knit class at my local gym, the Bar Method, she signed up and she bought a scarf kit from me. And the scarf kit included some mohair and some merino wool, which is the same combo that like these shrug kits were for. So anyway, so she buys this kit, and she then, like, she was so nice, but she was so busy, she never got to any of the classes. So she couldn't really learn the knitting. And I had her kit in my car for about a month, and I kept seeing her and I was like, Kate, I still have your kit. Do you want it? She's like, no, I don't have time, maybe sometime in the future. So what I didn't know was this. So now it's like, whatever, now it's late February, and I see Kate, and I say, Kate, I still feel so bad because you paid for that scarf kit, and yet you never picked up the yarn and like you never really like learned, and I feel like I owe you that. And she said to me, oh, don't worry, I'm kind of allergic to wool. And I said, what? You're allergic to wool? And that's when it dawned on me that she just wanted to support me. And I thought, like, with the new yarn business, and I thought, what an amazing human being, just to like do that as a blessing. And it meant so much to me. And so what she told me was that she had a whole bunch of loopy mango cotton, big cotton yarn. So I said to her, Kate, bring me the yarn. Just bring me what you have. And she goes, well, I have like 6 or 7 balls of this color named ginger. I said, just bring it. So she brings me this beautiful bag, okay? Because Kate's like, she's like really like me, like really into the accessories. So when she went to buy her loopy mango at the local yarn store to me, which is Wool and Grace in Summit, New Jersey, she bought this fabulous knitting bag from there. This bag is made by Aventi, I think it is. Attenti. And it's just so fantastic. And Kate is a interior decorator, and she's got the best taste. And like these pom-poms and everything. So, I looked inside the bag, and like lo and behold, she has all these like beautiful balls of this ginger. And I said, but you need a contrast. So I sent her the website for Loopy Mango, and I said, pick a contrast color. And she said, apricot. Like, she got back to me, like, within 3 seconds. Apricot. And, I mean, I just said, wow, that combo freaks me out. So I said, Kate, I'm going to knit you a shrug, okay? Because I know you're busy and everything. And I just was so touched at the kindness that she showed me. And it was just like, for me, such a joy to knit her this shrug. But what I didn't know was how cotton would behave in a shrug situation. Boy, oh boy, was I amazed. Okay, I have to show this. This shrug is using the pattern. So again, the Sunday shrug. And I think I told you guys last week I was very curious and would be experimenting with how cotton knits up for the warmer months. And let me say this, well, I love the texture. It's just so fun, and it's dreamy, and this is just straight up loopy mango. There's no like additional mohair or Surrey alpaca or anything, but it's just fabulous. I did the same amount of stitches as the pattern said, 72. What I will say is that it's a little bit roomier. It's a drapier kind of fabric, as you could see, which is very nice, I have to say. It's really nice for the warmer months. But like if you want a tighter fit, I would recommend probably dropping a number of stitches and doing maybe 68 or something. And Kate is like super tiny, so I don't know. I hope this isn't too big for her. In any case, but you can always do the collar folding down. It also like grew a lot vertically, and I think that's because cotton just again has a different kind of drapage. But like, oh man, these colors, I mean, I just was like, Kate, you nailed it with these colors. These just look so good together. What do you guys think? Right? And I love this nubby texture. I just love the nubby texture. So yeah, cotton works, guys. Cotton works. I'm not ready for cotton yet. It's March, and it's going to be like, according to my inner groundhog, it's going to still be cold. So as you guys know, I run cold, and so I'm just going to still be knitting up my shrugs in wool, and I don't care. I'll be wearing wool probably way into June too. You know me. All right, so love. And I'm like such a huge Loopy Mango fan. Loopy never disappoints. Spot on. never like I don't know, these two colors together just crazy good. Okay, on to finished object number 3. I wish I could take credit for this, but this is Maya's finished gumdrop sweater. And since we're knitting the same one, and I've just been occupied with all the shrugs, I took it for just the podcast, and I said, can I just show everybody? And this is it. Is this just not the cutest thing? So Maya did exactly to pattern. And these bell sleeves are just adorable. Adorable. She looks so good in it. I don't know, like, the way this is reading on camera is, like, not nearly as incredible as it looks on her. The colors, they just glow. I mean, and she's like, everywhere I go, people are asking me about this sweater, and I don't blame them because it's a showstopper. She says it's like wearing confetti. This is so nice, the raglan shaping, I have to say. And in terms of the hem, it rolls a little bit, but I think it's really cute with just the look, right? Because it's meant to be like with high-waisted. You could wear it with, I mean, it's not meant to be with high-waisted, but you can certainly wear it with like high-waisted jeans, which Maya has been wearing that look with this. So this is just fantastic. By the way, you guys know that I improvised mine and had to rip back because I made the bottom too tight with the ribbing, and then I just could not like deal with getting it over my head and shoulders. It was too tight, and so I had to like rip back and cut back, as you know. You could see the last episode if you never heard that story before. Took scissors to it, cut it, and so now if you know, I'm still working on it. But thanking you, like the people that have written with such good comments about different kinds of bind-offs. I'm so grateful. Like there was, you know, Calvin who said like the stretchy bind-off, then not to be afraid, Margaret, of the tubular bind-off. I forgot who it was, but I'm so grateful. They sent me to the Petite Knits tutorial. So helpful. I love Jackie's tutorial, Jackie Rose's tutorial. So I'm getting on a better track with my bind-offs now. I'm so encouraged and more confident. So thanking you guys for that. And yeah, this is like a great, easy peasy sweater pattern. Look at how fun the bell sleeves are. I feel like doing the Congo. All right, and that's it for the finished objects. Let me show you a work in progress. I can't stop with the shrugs. I don't know. I've never had this happen to me where I just cannot stop knitting the same thing over and over. So, but I thought I'd change it up a little bit today. I cast on yesterday, actually. And this is what it is. Okay, so I think I told you guys that I did a shrug 10 years ago called the rib something cowl, or the rib cowl shrug. I could not find the pattern. I could not remember the name of the designer. I could not remember the name of the pattern, and it was just driving me crazy. And I wore the shrug last week when I performed, and I felt so good in it, and it reminded me like how much I love that shrug, and that pattern was really great too. So then somebody wrote to me and said, you know, that shrug is so cool. Do you have the pattern? I'm like, I wish I had the pattern. Anyway, I went back to Ravelry and I did another search. Now, finding a shrug pattern, there's so many thousands of shrug patterns, but I don't know, like the Ravelry fairy was with me that day and somehow I located it. And it's a pattern I'm going to put the link below. Yes, it is the rib cowl, whatever, or rib something cowl shrug. And what is really neat about it is that it has the bonnet. It's not unsimilar to the Sunday shrug, but the way that it differs is that it has 5 sections of these welts. Now, a welt is, in this pattern, like 4 rows. I'm not going to talk, like maybe I shouldn't give away the pattern, but in any case, you create welts with a combination of like rows of purl and then rows of knit. and it gives it like a different texture, and then it goes into a rib for the top. So I had some knit collage hanging out, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to try this combo. I don't know. I'm a little bit on the fence. I love this orange. This is the Joy Bomb. Okay, yeah, that's the name. Joy Bomb. And I think this is orange sherbet in the Dream Cloud. Now, I don't know if, I mean, they look good on camera. I wasn't sure if these two are maybe too much together, because I kind of had my mind on the apricot, and I thought, like, how cool would this be with just the apricot? Like, this is really what I thought, but this is way more peachy. But in any case, I do really like a coral and a peach too. I went ahead and I ordered a skein of the creme brulee after getting this, because I think I just want a little bit more neutral. Although this is so fun. What do you think? I mean, do you guys think that this is maybe too much orange? Anyway, I started the welt, as you could see. And so it's like all these pearl bumps and then some knit bumps. So my idea was to do some color contrast, where for the pearl stitches, doing the bumps in the Joy Bomb, and then I'm doing the straight knit stitch in the orange sherbet, and then alternating, and then I don't know, like the top of it when it goes into the ribbing, just seeing how much yarn I have left and seeing like what colors would be right, and sort of improvising that. So yeah, so that's what I have going on now, but I might put this on pause until I get the creme brulee and then compare. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. This might be fun for like the warmer months. I mean, little Tropicana situation. I don't know. So that's what I've got for works in progress. I'm okay with that because I've been just shrugging along. Okay, so I just want to share one last thing. So on the subject of the painting, the Pythagoreans celebrate the sunrise, I just was wanting to honor the spirit of that painting. And like, I just think that one character who's like hugging the morning, it just is such a appealing thought to me right now as we come upon the spring equinox and this time of renewal. And I was thinking about this theme of a new light, you know, that first light, a new light, like turning on a new light inside of us, turning into a new feeling, connecting to something maybe that has been dormant, or just having a new zest for living. So many of you guys have commented about things that you are inspired to bring new energy of creativity to, and I loved hearing those responses. There was even one about like bringing creativity to cleaning the house, and I thought, yeah, you know, because if you get into that mode, that, like, I think it was Casarina girl, so beautiful the way she expressed it, is that the home is a place that it gives so much comfort and it gives shelter, and so you honor it by cleaning and doing it as an act of, like a response, an act from the heart, an act of love. And love is everything. Love is everything. So I felt this love for this painting well up in me, and there's something about the colors in this painting, those diffused colors, those blues in the sky with the, you know, light pinks and, you know, like that new light coming in, that terracotta peachiness of the background, the green of the grass and the land. And I don't know, I just wanted to honor the spirit of this new light with some yarn. So yarn painting. So yesterday I just went into the dye pots. I just want to show you some of the colors I came up with in response to the painting. So the greens of the grass and the soil really got to me. So I came up with these two. I think these will be shrugs again. So like a celadon green, and it's hard really in this light to capture that kind of green. Again, it sort of like washes out in the light, but it is like really just the softest celadon, like a celery color, with this interestingly like more dark and life-giving green. So quite variegated. I kind of, when I was doing these together, I started with the celadon so that I would have it as a base, and so I just intensified it as I went into the deeper greens, so they have that relationship to one another. So that was one shrug kit combo, and this is more variegated than the last collection I did, so I'm interested in seeing how these knit up in a shrug, and the intention being that this the spring new light shrug. I could envision wearing this shrug in the morning with the new light to honor that feeling of a new light, maybe journaling, maybe praying with your cup of coffee, and just honoring the day. Like that was my thought when I was dyeing this. So okay, so we have the green combo, and then went into more that earthy mauve combo here. So like this to me, whereas this represents the grass and that new life starting to come up in the spring, this represents the earth and the terracotta, especially in that painting. So you have the two different types here of, oh, this one came undone. Yeah, so like one, and again, this one has more different depths of color as well, right? Like, so you have kind of like the purplish, pinkish, and here it is punctuated. The response is like a deeper rendition with darker plums and some rusts. So yeah, so this kind of was really fun, and yeah, like almost inspired by that kind of like coffee color as well, but this is definitely more in the mauve, purplish, pink family. So yes, so there's that. And then the last one is the sky. And so this is celebrated with, it's kind of like periwinkle blue. It's different. And so it starts with the light one, which has hints of the periwinkle and like the lightest clouds. And it's like the first clouds of the morning when they dissipate into light. And yeah, so this is the darker periwinkle. And we have the lighter, very cloud-like mohair to go with it. And then this darker periwinkle. Yeah, so that's the sky. Yeah, so some spring shrug ideas, because I don't know, I wanted to do one last run with these combos, which is the Formula One combo, which if you are not familiar, is the combination of this very fantastic brushed mohair, which is kind of what Boboleros has kind of become known for, is like this opulence of this mohair along with this thick, bulky, soft soft as a pillow, merino, and together they create this gorgeous fabric, which again, I've made so many of my shrugs from it, and it just is like a hug. So yes, so if you're at all interested in any of these colors, I don't know if these will be like I just created these colors, and just for the sake of honoring the painting. But if people are interested in it, just I might do a new light collection and just do a few kits, just to kind of just put that energy out there. If that is something that you're interested in, please subscribe to boboleros.com and to my Instagram, and I will be posting updates to see where this might land. So that is it for today's podcast. I thank you so much for joining me. Wishing you a wonderful, wonderful week, and till next time. Bye.